Welcome to Torque Motorsport. I'm Alex. Alex number 10 with 2 underscores on Instagram. And today I have Cory Talaska, Formula Drift ProSpec driver. Also a man with much hair on his head. Make me a little jealous, but that's okay. We're gonna be bringing something new. We're gonna be starting this off really simple. True or false? Okay, this is gonna be talking about the drifting community, the drifting scene, getting into it, which by the way, if you guys are interested, please be sure to subscribe. And if you're looking to get a game that you can play for free as we're releasing new stuff, Torque Drift 2 is now out on Epic Games Store, which is actually pretty sick. We got our driving experience, which should be going live here just at the end of October. And if this is after October, you can jump on in, you can drive some cars, and we're gonna have like new cars showing up almost every single month, starting off with like Adam LZ's S15 and Odie's Nissan and a whole bunch of cool shit. So, go download the goddamn game. Let's get into it. True or false? You ready?
I'm ready.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. True or false? You need a limited slip differential to drift.
No.
Why not?
You can weld it. You weld it open.
Welding is scary. All right, question number 2. True or false? High horsepower cars make better drift cars.
Yes.
Why do you say that?
It's easier.
Is it because you can hide mistakes or what?
It is literally a crutch.
Is
like,
it?
Yeah, it's like a handicap.
Why do some of the grassroots guys always say like you got to start with no horsepower before you have power?
Because they don't have money to build a high horsepower car.
Damn. All right, okay. BMW is a better drift car than Nissan.
Yes, true.
Why?
You can drift it off of the lot without any adjustments at all.
Just like banging these out. Like everybody's gonna be like already 3 questions in. This guy doesn't even know what he's talking about. I have a drift. My Nissan's great when it's running and not overheating and the brakes work. Okay, true or false? The seat is the #1 mod you can buy for your drift car.
True.
That's the #1 mod.
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
If you've ever drifted in a car with a stock seat.
I do. All the time.
Drifting from the passenger seat's not super fun.
I know.
Also, you get sore really easily because you subconsciously hold yourself in the seat.
Yeah, you mansplain. You mansplain the drift track.
100%. If your car can drift and you were gonna do something with it, a seat, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I'm
with it.
The GR86 stock seats actually do a pretty good job at like keeping you in. It's got some bolstering, which is nice. The Nissan Gloria, however, like bench seats. They're so comfortable. They're so soft. But I got done with my drift day on Sunday, and on Monday, I felt like I had been like, I don't know, building a house on my knees. Cause like I got up, I'm like, cause you have to like, I don't even know how to do it, but it's uncomfy. Yes. All right, true or false? The S2000 makes a bad drift car.
True, but with like an asterisk that Justin Medina makes it work.
Why are they such bad drift cars? I've heard this from a lot of people.
Weight balance, wheelbase, and even if they're put together very well, like Justin Medina's car is amazing, makes good power, it drifts very well, he makes it work, but you can tell that he can't get away from, it's just snappy as hell. Like, he's a good driver and he makes the car look amazing. But I've seen a bunch of other S2000s drift and I've seen them go into walls more than link a course.
It's like snap oversteer almost, or what?
The car is super unpredictable.
That's interesting. I actually originally bought that to be a drift car, and immediately upon purchasing it, the first person I talked to was like, that's not a good drift car. And I'm like,
to start, maybe.
Yeah, definitely not. Probably never for me. I'm going to stick to the GR86. Okay, true or false? FD ProSpec is more fun as a driver than Pro.
False.
Okay, why?
I'm going to say false because in like the big, imagination space, if you're running Pro, that means it's probably your entire life. Like that is your well-being, and that's the goal. That's cool. ProSpec, it's like a cuck. You're like so close and you're having so much fun.
But you're not there.
It's
like, oh, thanks, dude. Appreciate that.
It's exactly what it is.
All right, Midwest question time. Are you a Menards guy or a Farm and Fleet Farm guy?
Fleet Farm.
Okay, so Fleet Farm or Farm and Fleet?
Fleet Farm.
Oof. All right. We're done. We're done with that question. Okay, we're gonna fill in the blank. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with a sentence, and then all you gotta do is finish it with whatever you feel best represents the sentence. My favorite Formula Drift track is
Atlanta.
Why?
Awesome entry. I get to shift going up a hill. The sound at the top of the keyhole is insane. Fans are insane.
Atlanta is crazy because you have fans literally almost on both sides of the track. I mean, on the right side when you're going down, you don't, but throughout the whole thing. Like, there's not a spot that you can sit and not see almost the whole thing.
It's just one of those tracks that you can't replicate the experience. Utah is really wild and crazy. Like, I would say that's pretty good. But Atlanta is just like, you are only ever going to experience Atlanta and Atlanta to drive as a driver.
Yeah. The hardest track to drift at is what?
Utah, for 2 different reasons. One, mechanically. We're at high elevation. We all lose like 150 horsepower. And it's an extremely demanding track. It's one of those tracks, I'll use the other ones as an example. Atlanta, St. Louis, New Jersey, I can make a mistake and still make a really, really good run. Utah, you make a mistake, your run's done. At any point of the course, if you hiccup, if you're shallow, if you do something wrong, throw too much angle, the run is almost a wash.
See, I just remember Utah as being the track where everybody crashed because if you were chasing a car during sunset, you could not see anything out of your windshield. Is that true?
That is true.
Because I saw my boy Mike just decide to go straight instead of turn because he's like, I just couldn't see anything. I was trying to turn, but I didn't know where the lead car was.
I literally got a different visor and a sunshade and everything just for Utah. And the smoke there is gnarly as a chase driver because the transitions are slow. Like it's not like a quick snap, you transition inside of someone. It is like a huge, long, drawn out thing, and you're just in smoke.
The most exciting person to compete with is
Rich Whiteman, because he is the best guy in the world.
Just nice or what?
He is just fun. It doesn't matter if we both flipped our cars in the run, or we both won, or we both lost, or we blew up, or anything. You're going to be greeted with a smile, a hug, that was amazing, like, let's do it again tomorrow kind of thing. Like, we have some of my best runs, some of my biggest videos on social media, everything is literally Rich and I in practice.
The most unique car on the grid is?
Darren Kelly's Aston Martin.
I wish he was still there.
It's insane. Like, even if maybe like the visual of it is not like a 10 and 10 in my head, but like when you hear it,
it makes no sense.
Like, how do you not just like do? It's insane. I love it. It's absolutely nuts.
He's such a good dude too. I mean, like just
So
hearing that car's story and all of that stuff is wild. The most overrated engine platform for drifting is?
Yeah, just get VQs out of here. Just VQs, period. I'm a 2J guy. I love LSs. I love all of them. So I can't say anything bad about those. I want to build a rotary. I love B58s. Like, put those in any car I own. But just get VQs.
VQs
just put them somewhere else.
They're just so tough because they're so great for like jumping into everything. You know, like I saw so many Infinities at US Air and bless their souls, they're ripping it, they're awesome, but man, that just the exhaust note too is just like, gosh.
Yeah, you know, like how everything has its own like a certain level of harmonics and everything that like in your mind and body feels certain ways when you hear it. Yeah, I like get physically sick. I get ill when I hear that note of a VQ. It's like, it's bad. It's worse than COVID.
The most underrated drift car out there right now is?
Like one of the old Ford police cruisers.
Like a Interceptor?
Yeah.
Like a Crown Vic.
A Crown Vic.
With like four on the stick?
Yeah, with some sandbags in the trunk.
I'm trying to see it. I'm trying to visualize
it. Just build the car in Forza or something. Do it. It's insane. Like Crown Vic.
You know, people who drive police vehicles but are not employed by the police deserve a special place in hell, personally, because they give me anxiety.
With the light still on, like the windshield?
You have no business having that fog light still there. Every single time I come up to one of those or a Ford Explorer that for the very first time they made look identical to a police car, even though off the factory lot it's not. I don't know what to do with that information. Like, make them bright and lively. Don't make them look like regular ass traffic. All right, last but not least, we're coming down to the end of the video, which by the way, if you guys want to follow Cory Talaska, you can follow him on a whole bunch of socials. He's doing a lot of really cool stuff. What would you say as you're jumping into drifting or any form of motorsport, what's the number one thing you think people get wrong about it?
Probably just that they assume that they can't do it. You can do it. Because every form of racing usually has some sort of sub-level.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm big on, like, everyone should have a hobby. Put your passion into something. If it's racing, look what you like, find the sub-level of it. You like, sprint cars, something like that, get into mini sprints at a way cheaper level. You like FD, go buy a 350Z or a BMW.
Go get a VQ.
Go get a VQ. Go to AutoZone and buy every single part off the rice shelf.
Yeah, let's go.
Drift it.
I feel like that's a really good tip, because I do think sometimes it's scary for people to jump into any form of motorsport, because it's expensive. It's hard. For some people, there's not a track really nearby, or it's like 3 hours away to go to the nearest one. And but it is like, just get out there and have fun. The most important question I have is, do you believe that when Chris Forsberg is 65 years old, he'll still be drifting? The man's been in it for 20 years.
Yeah, and I bet you he'll look the same.
I don't understand how he doesn't age.
He doesn't. He will look the same.
I do research trying to figure out more about him. How does he stay looking that young? I'm convinced he may not even be real. Like, he could just be ChatGPT.
Maybe.
I just don't understand.
It's possible.
I want to know who you think, honestly, who do you think is going to be the oldest person in the drifting motorsport? Who do you think is going to stay in it the longest?
It's got to be one of the OG guys. It's got to be Forsberg or Turk. Or they're just going to keep doing it. Like, I don't see them going down the retirement route. Like, it's always going to be, what is the next thing?
I just love that, like, I'll see Ryan Turk out there, and then, like, I'll just randomly go on YouTube, and he's doing some ass backwards wild other thing as well, like, at the same time. He's like, oh, I just took this truck out and took it to grid live, drifting it sideways, and the next one's like, oh, I built this random 1,200 horsepower thing for off-roading, and it's like, who is he?
But that's why. That's why they're going to stay in it, because that's their number one thing. That's, like, the bread-winning thing that they're doing that allows all this other stuff to be a thing.
That's awesome.
And I think it's sweet.
That's sick. All right, that's all we got. If you guys want to have any questions for Cory Talaska, drop them in the comments below. Cory, thanks for coming on board. And of course, if you guys are interested in checking out Torque Drift 2, you can actually go download it on Epic Games Store for free, which is pretty exciting. But I'm Alex, Alex on our team with 2 underscores on Instagram. We'll see you later. Adios.